Hi there, welcome to my channel. I'm your host and you are listening to Learning School. Today, we will be discussing Operation Zarb-e-Istehkam, the background in which its need emerged, critically analyzing states' policies post 2014, and finally, we would see if we had learned our lessons or not. Without any further ado, let's get started. On June 22nd, 2024, the Central Apex Committee approved Operation Zarb-e-Istehkam, a counter-offensive aimed at addressing the escalating threat posed by extremists and the militant. In recent years, Pakistan has faced a mounting challenge from terrorist attacks and religiously motivated violence. These incidents not only tarnish the nation's reputation but also impede foreign investment and internal stability. Now, some may ask the question, why launch yet another operation when previous efforts have been made? What lessons have we learned from past experiences? While each operation has yielded tactical gains, the underlying cause of extremism and terrorism remains deeply rooted. Questions linger about whether we have sufficiently addressed these root causes or merely treated symptoms. But before that, let us briefly discuss Operation Zarb-e-Azab and Operation Rad-ul-Fasad. So, Operation Zarb-e-Azab started on June 15, 2014 and it was aimed to restore state control across Pakistan. According to an ISSI report from 2016, the operation killed almost 5,000 terrorists. Civilian casualties dropped significantly, decreasing by 40% in 2014, 65% in 2015, and 74% in 2016. See, it was quite successful. Moreover, the strategy included involving local people in development and providing more opportunities for local industries. Zarb-e-Azab had been successful in removing militant control with only few scattered pockets and sleeper cells remaining. The operation also changed Pakistan's political stance, showing that negotiations or reconciliation with militants is not effective at all. Okay, let's look at Operation Rad-ul-Fasad. So, Operation Rad-ul-Fasad was launched in 2014 as a response to a series of suicide attacks on the Pakistani military by the TTP splinter group Jamaat-ul-Ahrar. So, what was the main goal? The main goal was to de-radicalize the country and de-weaponize the country and control terrorists, all as part of the National Action Plan. To speed up justice, military courts were established to handle terrorism cases quickly. A huge milestone was the 25th Constitutional Amendment merging FATA with KPK. Since 2017, security forces had trained over 40,000 police officials and nearly 22,000 levies and Khaksar personnel. On the border front, 95% of the fencing on Pakistan-Afghanistan border is complete and work on the Pak-Iran border is over 78% finished. Additionally, 679 forts, border posts and terminals had been constructed and more than 60,000 square kilometers had been cleared of landmines. Operation Rad-ul-Fasad had been a game changer in the fight against terrorism and extremism in Pakistan. So, this graph shows how terrorism declined subsequent to these military operations since 2014. However, why is there a need for a new counter-terrorism operation? Well, it's because of this moment in history, a moment in history where we misjudged our developments in our neighborhood. After the takeover of Afghan government by the Tehrik-e-Taliban Afghanistan in August 2021, the Pakistani establishment rushed to Afghanistan to welcome the new government, and the then ISI chief, General Faiz Hamid, famously said, "Don't worry, everything will be okay." Clearly, our establishment overestimated the trust bond with Tehrik-e-Taliban Afghanistan, as was evident subsequently in two matters. Firstly, Tehrik-e-Taliban Afghanistan pushed Pakistan to resume talks with Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan. Secondly, Tehrik-e-Taliban Afghanistan provided sanctuaries to Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan within Afghanistan. And these two events resumed the reign of terror in Pakistan once again. As far as negotiations were concerned, the Pakistani policymakers concurred and thus began another round of policy of appeasement. In November 2022, these talks ultimately failed, but by then the damage had been done. The Pakistan had already allowed numerous TTP fighters to relocate from Afghanistan to Pakistan and many imprisoned militants were freed. With collapse of the peace talks, Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan wasted no time. They immediately announced their spring offensive against Pakistan. This was not just an assault on civilians. This time their target were more strategic. Military personnel, installations, foreign nationals, particularly Chinese citizens working on infrastructure projects, were in their crosshairs. The attacks were brazen and calculated, aiming to destabilize Pakistan's security apparatus and international relations. So, Chinese officials have also shown their apprehensions in this regard. Head of International Department of Chinese Communist Party Lao Jianxiao said security threats are the main hazards to CPEC cooperation. As people often say, confidence is more precious than gold. In case of Pakistan, the primary factor shaking the confidence of Chinese investors is the security situation. Moreover, according to an annual security report issued by the Center for Research and Strategic Studies, Pakistan witnessed 1,524 violence-related fatalities and 1,463 injuries from 789 terror attacks and counter-terror operations in 2023, marking a record 6-year high. And according to another report, 2023 was the deadliest year for security forces in nearly a decade. So, according to another Twitter handle, Khorasan Diaries, which is a very credible Twitter handle, TTP even collects bhatta and it has its own military courts and even have checkposts in former FATA regions. Moreover, Azm-e-Istehkam operation is also about fighting religious extremism against minorities. This particular graph shows the escalated and serious numbers of crimes against non-Muslims in 2023. So, in this backdrop, the government of Pakistan and army has decided to conduct a fresh counter-terrorism offensive. So, this is the end of the video. As a token of appreciation, if you have liked this video, please do like, subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you so much. We'll be back.